while since you last seen me. It was probably New Year's Eve or day, I can't remember. But I did not even want to film. I took a break from YouTube and I feel better. I was a little bit meh. Anyway, so in the last video, I was a little bit anxious. It's because I was hangry. And sometimes when I'm hangry, I don't generally get hangry, but when I do, it's like, oh my god, I need to eat something or I'm going to wind up I'm going to die. And that was the case. Now, I had some Mexican casserole, but still, it was not enough. I mean, I was on my period at the same time, and again, when it's that time of the month, I'm anxious as well. So, yeah. And y'all did not want to see me like that. I'm sorry if I offended you. But, anyway, today is a new day. It's a new year. Again, Happy New Year. I hope your New Year was great. And look how long my fingernails are getting. They're getting very long and pretty. I'm tempted to give myself a French manicure type thing. I think that would look really cute. Anyway, so as I'm recording, it's January 5th. And today is Marilyn Manson's birthday. So Manson, sir, if you're watching, happy birthday. I hope your day was great. So let me tell y'all a little bit of a story. Ever since I was 18, I talked about this before. Ever since when I turned 18, or I was barely 18, mind you, I was 17 going on 18. I remember, like, who remembers Blockbuster? See, there's a Blockbuster right there. There's a video talking about it. Anyway, I remember going to Blockbuster and renting Not Another Teen movie, and at the time that movie had just come out. I normally didn't watch movies like that, but I didn't watch the movie, but I did watch the special features. And I remember watching the Marilyn Manson Tainted Love music video, and I had that song on replay. I played that song over and over, and my mom would make jokes about me playing Tainted Love ad nauseum. I don't play it as much, but, you know, when I hear that song, it just takes me back. I would be so happy. Like, maybe I need to find that ringtone for my phone. Yeah. So, as I got older, and before I knew it, I started really liking Marilyn Manson, and my mom did not even understand me. And Mom, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but I'm being honest. This is looking at it now, and it was not an obsession. It was, you know, like Marilyn Manson would not yell at me or be mean or hateful. His music was like an escape, and instead, he would make me feel better. And he's helped me through some rough times. Like, I know this sounds silly, but, you know, if you were a Marilyn Manson fan and you went through the same thing, you probably understand. But, like, when my dog died. When my dog that I had since I was 4 through the time I was 18, she had died of old age. And it was very upsetting. When you know when you lose an animal, it's like losing a family member. Like, Marilyn Manson's music helped me get through that, you know? It was sad, and, you know, it was at the time where all I wanted to do was cry, but every time I put on his music, I would just be like, oh, I feel so much better. It was like an escape. And 7 years ago, before I made some life-changing decisions, I was not happy, and I was constantly watching Marilyn Manson concerts and watching his videos and what have you. And whenever I was a lot of stress and had some health issues and what have you, I was finally I would start listening to his music, but then when, I think it was in late 2014, early 2015, I found out that Marilyn Manson was going to be doing a tour with Smashing Pumpkins. Now let's rewind to like March of that year. Marilyn Manson was going to do a tour in Oklahoma City, and due to lack of communication and misunderstanding, I ended up not going, and maybe it was not the best time for me to go. Who knows? That's the way I see it now, because a few months later, he did a tour in Dallas with Smashing Pumpkins, and I was really excited. I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited, And I did go to that. Well, I was originally going to go to Dallas, but the young lady that took me, she wanted to go to Houston. And then we ended up going to the show in Houston, which I was perfectly okay with that. You know, if you're willing to, if you're doing something that you don't really want to do, to be fair, she wanted to go to Houston, so I was willing to compromise. And I'm like, yeah, we'll go. Either way, I'll see him. I don't even care. It doesn't matter. And I got to go to Galveston and see the Gulf of Mexico, which was really nice. I have not seen the ocean since I lived in California, and that was years ago. It was nice to go to the beach. I liked that. And that was really fun. But I can tell you, when we got to the concert, I remember just moments before it came on, my heart was racing, and the young lady who took me, she was like, Kira, remember to breathe and that you have high blood pressure. I do not want to take you to the emergency room. I'm like, it's already high, because it was high because I was really excited. I was full of adrenaline, so yeah. And I did check it that morning, and man, it was coming out the roof. She was a little bit concerned. I'm like, you know why? It's extremely high. I'm excited, okay? And I felt it. And I was on my monthly at the time, and I was like, oh my god, it's that time of the month. What if Marilyn Manson finds out? I remember starting the day before I was supposed to go to the concert. I was like, I started my period. What if Marilyn Manson finds out? Like, what if I have an accident and he sees the blood and all of that stuff? I was like, no. I just hope he does not see it. So, he'd probably be like, okay. I did not want to know that. But to be fair, I saw him throwing up all over the stage one time. So, yeah. And I'll talk about that in just a minute. It was gross. Anyway. But I was more concerned about Marilyn Manson finding out that I was on my period. But, it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that I probably may or may not get again. Anyway, so I remember he was, the lights went out and some music was playing, his band was playing the music, and I was like, oh my god. I mean, he was this big on stage, mind you, but I just knew he was there, and I was like, oh my god, I'm in the same building with him. He's just right there. I could see him. I could feel it. Oh my god. Oh my god. And I remember the girl in the Tainted Love video that got to sit in the jacuzzi with him. I was so envious of her for years up until that night. Yeah. Just knowing that I'm in the same building with him, and I did not even think of it. And, I had on my heart-shaped glasses, And yeah, I was wearing my heart-shaped glasses because I was like, I had to. Come on. Funny thing. They're like, why are you wearing your she was like, why are you wearing your sunglasses? Come on, it's heart-shaped glasses. I want to make him forget about that Evan Rachel Wood. Come on. He may not see me, but just, what if he does? I want him to forget about her. Okay? That was my whole point of wearing the heart-shaped glasses. I wanted him to forget. So, anyway, I remember the very beginning, plus I'll show you in a minute, and I want to warn you that I was screaming on top of my lungs. I screamed a lot during that night. And the next, that night we drove back to Amarillo. And between Houston and Amarillo, I'd probably say it's probably an 8.5 hour, maybe 9 hour drive. It's a long drive. I don't know. Google it. So yeah, I went home. We drove home. We drove back to Amarillo that night. And the next day we went to Wonderland. Okay, Wonderland amusement park. Wonderland is an amusement park in Amarillo, Texas. If you don't already know, you probably never heard of it, so go look it up. I remember screaming. Okay, I was screaming a lot at the concert and then screaming on the rides. My throat hurts so bad, I think I strained. Like, it hurt to talk. I think I strained something in there. I don't know. Let me know. Like, what happens if you scream too much aggressively in like 2 days? I couldn't even talk. My throat was killing me. I can just feel it like, it was not pleasant. So I drank a lot of water to see if it would help with my throat, and I remember drinking, I drank a lot of fluids to see if it would help, because it did help. So, yeah, I didn't talk very much because I needed to relax my voice, because it was like, I couldn't even talk. I was like this. It was like, oh my God. It was brutal. Like, my throat hurt so bad from screaming. All that screaming and straining, it was worth it. I was in the same building with him, and I had a good time. It was fun. I didn't get to meet him in person, but I probably would have. I mean, I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because I probably would have passed out and had the young lady worried sick about me, even if I did meet him. And I probably would have cried. I'm not gonna lie. I'd have been like, you're being extra nice. But yeah, I heard some really good things about him, but I didn't want him to know that I was on the rag. But to be fair, I seen him throwing up all over the stage. Like, that was gross. I had to think about that when I started. I'm like, you know what? If he finds out, he finds out. But he never knew. But I did not let my period stop me from doing something that I've been wanting to do for years. As you get older, your period just comes and goes. You just get on with it. You gotta get on with your life. Don't let the time of the month stop you. And I have to remember that. But I recorded Deep Six, then I recorded Sweet Dreams, and then I recorded Personal Jesus. But Personal Jesus, my phone died right in the middle of the song. I was so mad. But I was laughing at him because it looked like he was doing push-ups or something.
Love